award-winning Tennessee Wildcast is on the air with the latest on hunting, fishing, boating, wildlife watching, and all things outdoors. Make welcome your host, drummer and outdoor expert novice, Jason Harmon.
All right. Hello, everybody, and welcome to this edition of Tennessee Wildcast. We're glad y'all are tuning in. Glad you're listening out there and on the radio and watching on Facebook and YouTube. We appreciate y'all following us here at Tennessee Wildcast. We are on location at the Crossville Shooting Sports Park in Crossville, Tennessee, and excited to have Mr. Kenneth Carey and Matt Clarey with us today. And we'll introduce those folks, but also have Miss Mimi Barnes helping me co-host.
Happy to be here as always.
Yes, glad to have Mimi with us and these guys, and it's going to be a fun conversation here at the new Crossville Shooting Sports Park, and it's still under construction a little bit, adding some things and making improvements, and it's going to be a great place to shoot.
It already is. It is a cool facility.
Mm-hmm.
I really encourage folks to get out here. It is so cool.
Yeah. So, somebody tell us where we are. How do you find the sports park?
Well, it's pretty easy. It's right off of I-40, the Peavine exit, Crossville, Tennessee, obviously.
Exit 322, I believe the GPS says.
Exactly. So you get off there and go north, and then it's the next road on your right. Essentially, it's 722 Albert Frye Road. Really easy to find. You come down the first drive on your right, big sign, come on in.
Okay, awesome. So if you're looking for a place to shoot, there's a lot of opportunities here, a lot of different things, and from pistols to shotguns to long rifles, I think is going to be in the future, if not already here, so that's awesome. Let's introduce the folks that are with us and learn about these guys. First, let's start out with Kenny. Kenny was a former Cumberland County Mayor, and he's also the president of the Shooting Sports Board here at the sports park. So other than that, Kenny, tell us about yourself.
Oh, I'm just raised up on a farm out in the western part of Cumberland County, and just an old country boy that loves to shoot. Been shooting since I was a kid.
Okay, awesome. So who introduced you to that?
Oh, my dad.
Your dad, yeah. I think that's a lot of your dad is an influence on a lot of people.
It sure is.
And you were with your kids.
Yes. Yep. My kids shot. That's coming up, and then they were coming up through school and stuff, and then my son, he's won regional, state, national champions titles. Mm-hmm. So really proud of what he was able to accomplish. Of course, he's working down in college full time too, so kind of hampers the shooting time a little bit for us.
Yeah. I think that happens to a lot of folks once they hit in college. Then some of their fun things they used to do kind of goes to the side. But
hopefully they come back to us.
Come back to it.
Well, he and I got a chance a couple of Sundays to go to shoot a little sporting clays out here, and he still showed me up. So it's
wow, very nice.
Nothing's changed much.
That happens. Matt, tell us about yourself. You're one of the LE captains here, but what all do you look over and manage for the agency?
Yeah, I'm the Regional Hunter Education Coordinator, boating safety, and also law enforcement training. But my main job, I'd say 75% of my job is hunter education, and this falls right into place with that. So Kenneth and a couple of the other guys came to us probably about 4 or 5 years ago with this idea, and was able to talk and get the ball rolling. And so we want to start a big range. We want to get a big range. We've got a lot of kids in the area that shoot with scholastic clays, also rifle pistol program, and also archery. So it was kind of a no-brainer. We were looking for that. There was a lot of PR, Pittman Robinson funds that were available to us to be able to put into this program or this project. So we got all our heads together, and in such a big program, it's not just one or two people, it's a bunch. So we were able to get together on that and get it started and get the funding, and was able to get it going about 3 years ago, I guess, when we actually broke ground out here. I remember it was right about this spot. There was nothing but dirt.
And a bunch of weeds.
Exactly. And, with a vision and a little bit of time and a little bit of sweat and tears and all those things, we've got a huge building here, about 11,000 square foot building. We've got five skeet and trap combo ranges behind us. We've got 5 stand, 2 sporting clays ranges. We've got a walk-through 3D range that's in the works right now, and then got more plans for down the road too.
So Kenny, where did the kids practice prior to having this? Were you all driving? I assume your kids were involved during that time.
Yeah, there's another location close to us that had trap and skeet at the time, and that was pretty much it. We were having to drive the kids if they was practicing pistols or sporting clays or anything else, we had to go, a minimum of an hour and 15, 20 minutes one way just to get them there. So,
and it seems that there's a good number of kids in this area that are very involved in the shooting sports.
Yeah, we're very blessed with the youth group here that's really strong in numbers and competitively strong as well.
So if I recall, you were sitting on a tailgate of a truck.
3 of us sitting on the tailgate of a truck at a shoot thinking, this driving's really getting old. We got to do something. So we just kind of put some thoughts together and started making notes on papers.
Wow.
And I think the first time we approached anybody, it was all just handwritten scribbling, and we kind of fine-tuned it a little from there. But
A little bit.
yeah, so we could shell shock the commission when we first asked them for a big lump sum of money.
Yeah.
So what's that process like? You had an idea. If someone had an idea about shooting sports, did you all approach Tennessee Wildlife at that time, or?
Yeah, we did. And the biggest recommendation I've got is just prepared for it to be a lengthy process, and not really because of any kind of holdups, but it's just everything you've got to go through to get the money approved and the site approved and go through the paperwork process. I think is different than what a lot of people would be accustomed to, so it just takes a little time. But
The county seemed very accepting, though.
City and county's been very receptive to us. The city actually donated the property that we're on.
Wow.
That was one of my questions. Was it already cleared and a lot of this available, or do they have a lot of work go into prepping the land?
Well, basically what you see behind us was not nearly as level as we've got it now, but it was just growed up weeds. And what this is adjacent to an old city landfill.
Okay.
And they actually took the topsoil cover and stuff off of this to cover up the garbage, weekly out there. So it was just a field of ragweeds.
Yeah. So a great position, a great place for this to happen. That's awesome. So you said it took a little while. How long did it take? I know it seems like John Mayer, the old regional manager, was working on this with you and getting it started. That's been a few years ago.
He kind of started talking with Kenneth about it, and because they were mutual friends, and kind of got some of those those things worked out before it came to me. Of course, he handed it over because it was kind of my job, but he's like, man, here it is. And I'm like, holy moly, this is going to be a big deal, and it's going to be great for the area. But then also, we're close to Knoxville, we're close to Chattanooga, we're close to Cookeville, and even Nashville, really, as the crow flies from there, not too far.
Not bad.
And so it's going to pull a lot of people in this community. They're already talking business stuff out here at the interstate area. And it was a big. I was excited though, because I'd had the same dream really, probably 10 or 12 years ago. I've been in this position for 16. So right after I started, I was like, man, we need a big range. I want a big range. I don't know what I was asking for. It's more work usually, but
we didn't either when we started, man.
It's not for us though, and that's what this is all about. It's not for us. It's not to pat ourselves on the back. It's to get these kids and that next generation, and even the older people, to get them back in.
Yeah.
We talk about the R3 stuff. You're getting new kids in it, but then you're also bringing them back when they get out of college, when they get out of whatever work they're doing, retirement, those kinds of things. Bring those families back into this.
So
type
R3,
of areas.
recruitment, retention, reactivation, those are 3 big words in our industry right now.
Yep.
Yeah. Crossville Shooting Sports Park, R3 Park. No.
There you go.
So will there be hunter ed classes happening here and things like that going on as well?
Yeah, actually, it was kind of funny how it all worked out. We had a ribbon cutting a few weeks ago, and to start this out, and I thought, man, we really need to get a hunter ed class set up, for that ribbon cutting. Well, I was busy. I was traveling, a lot of stuff with work, and it just didn't get it done. Well, a couple weeks before, I had one of my instructors call me and say, hey, I got a class set up for that day of the ribbon cutting. I'm like, perfect. Yeah. So, it just worked out great.
Awesome.
But yeah, we'll definitely have more hunter ed classes here, boating education classes possibly, or testing site once we get everything squared away. But yeah, this place is open to all of our programs, I know, and that was part of the agreement at the beginning, I guess. Right. I was trying to say, and partnerships is of course how everything gets done, and that's where it's going right now.
Absolutely, and it was really neat to kind of see that out here at the ribbon cutting. We cut a ribbon at 1:00, and hunter education started at 3. So
that's great.
That was a great day too. It was great to see the people that were involved. There were a lot of organizations and volunteers that supported this project along the way.
There's no I in our team here. It's all we.
Yeah.
That
great.
was very obvious. Yeah, very touching and very obvious. What challenges did you all face as the project unfolded? Were there any? I'm sure there were surprises.
The single biggest challenge was the weather. When we got started breaking ground, it seemed like it rained forever.
Yeah, it was a rainy year.
Just the building, getting the concrete poured on the building, we had about a month delay because of the weather.
Wow.
But once we finally got kind of going and got it in the dry, it came along good, and we got some dry weather at the right time to get the ranges, the dirt excavation work done when we needed it. So it's all come together pretty good. We would like to have been going 6 months before now, but we're here.
What was the official opening date?
We actually hosted a shoot a year and a half ago here.
Wow.
So I don't know. It depends on what you want to call official, but the official ribbon cutting day was August 2nd, 3rd. I don't remember now. Days run together.
It was the 3rd at 2. I remember it was opposite days. Yeah.
So folks have been folks have been utilizing the park throughout this time as things have been completed.
Yeah.
So what are the hours if somebody wants to come out and check it out?
We're Central Time, obviously. We're open Thursday and Friday, 10 a.m. to 7 p.m., Saturday, 8 a.m. to 7 p.m., and Sunday, noon to 6.
Yeah.
Okay. Pretty good hours. That's awesome.
Yeah.
And everybody can come out.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. What process do they have to go through when they get here?
Once they get here, they just come into the office and sign in, and then they'll, depending on what they want to shoot, they'll be directed to that range.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm sure it takes a lot of people to make this function and happen. Do you have a lot of volunteers? Are there pay positions too, or how's that work?
We've got a lot of volunteers, and I can't pat them on the back enough.
Yeah.
We just couldn't do it without them through the construction. But I mean, we've got guys that show up out here and said, "Hey, I ain't got nothing to do. I want to mow," so they'll jump on a mower and mow, and they don't expect anything back for it other than just they're helping out.
That's great.
And we've hired a manager that's full time here now.
Okay.
That's
good.
running the park, and he's got a lot of experience in running ranges with a lot of the bigger shoots and stuff. So we've got a good calendar building for next year.
Yeah, we got the right man for the job.
Yes.
Sounds like. That's great.
How so I want to back up just for a
Sure.
second. We're seeing kids still are involved in the shooting sports, and Matt, you know those numbers. What do numbers look like across the state? Can we say this is a viable sport?
Oh gosh, yeah, and it seems to be growing. Of course, it's the same across the country. Our hunting numbers seem to be declining or staying stagnant, I guess you could say. But our shooting numbers are going up a little bit, so that's a good thing because that tax money still goes back to conservation. But we've got about 3 programs that we really follow. One is SCTP, which is Scholastic Clay Target Program, which the Tennessee Wildlife Federation runs that program. There's about 1,800 kids shooting in the state. We also have SASP, which is Scholastic Action Shooting Program.
This is a test for you.
That's right. That's our rifle pistol program, and they've got around 350 kids right now. And it's a newer program, I guess you could say. It's been the last 2, 3, 4 years. But the new calendar year starts, or they call it the target year, starts next month. So there should be some more kids involved with that. And then we've been doing NAS for many years, which is our Archery in the Schools program. We've been doing it since 2004, and we've got around 3,500 kids across the country or across the state. And that's another point too. Of course, this is a shotgun mainly range. We also have rifle and pistol, but then we also have that archery. And we do have some plans for some more archery range potential on another piece of property that's here, or part of the property anyways. So we'll be able to get more kids out shooting and families doing archery as well.
Very cool.
Yeah.
It might be a good time. Can you tell us what's here?
What's here?
150 acres?
We're on about just shy of 150, right around 146, 147. We've got a 5 stand that's right here closest to us, across from the clubhouse. It's shotguns shooting. We've got 5 trap fields out there. We've got 5 skeet fields out there. We have a Olympic bunker trap.
That's very cool.
It is. And to watch some of these 14-year-olds get out there and shoot very accurately is something to see on it.
Can you describe that Olympic bunker trap?
It's basically the trap target is a clay target coming out of a bunker that's in the ground, so it's coming out right at ground level. There's about 15 different machines that throw a variety of targets out there out of that one. And they'll range from somewhere around 62 or 3 miles an hour up to about 72 miles an hour, depending on trajectory of it.
And there aren't very many of those in the country, are there?
Very few in the country, and as far as I know, this is only the second one in the state.
Wow, that's great.
So,
what a great accomplishment.
Yes,
I bet you do see some great kids coming through here.
Yeah, well, we've got a lady that's here locally that's on the Junior National Olympic team and has won World Cups and everything. So it's interesting to get out and watch her just practice there. And we've had folks come from a pretty good way off just to sit and watch her practice. So that helps. Then we've got one of our skeet fields. We can throw Olympic or international skeet on it. So it's a faster skeet target, essentially about the same pattern, but we can do it. Trap fields, we can throw singles, doubles, or wobble trap. So you can get pretty much anything you want. We've got a 3D archery course that's just about complete. I'm saying the next 2 to 3 weeks it will be open. A 5-bay pistol range that is up and going now. And then we've got a 200-yard rifle range that will be open probably in about 3 or 4 weeks. We're finishing the construction up on it now. And 2 sporting clays courses, one 13-station, one 8-station course. And for the advanced folks, don't let the 8 stations fool you because it's pretty tough.
Wow, that's awesome. A lot of opportunity. That's really cool. That's great.
What if folks don't have a gun?
We've got some rental shotguns in here.
Okay.
We don't do the pistols, but we do the shotguns. So,
Okay.
and
That's
you know,
awesome.
we've had a lot of folks come through that hadn't shot before, and you know, we've got a lot of our people that's here working, or a lot of the board members are certified coaches.
Oh,
so,
wow.
you know, we can help them if we're around and get them to where they can have some fun too.
So a lot of opportunities if you've never shot or hadn't shot in a long time, don't
Absolutely.
have a gun, come on out and rent a gun.
Absolutely.
So that's really cool. And then
Yeah.
do you bring your own shells, or how's that work?
You can bring your own, or we've got some in here.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah,
That's
what great opportunity. I
Yeah.
didn't realize all that. That's fantastic.
I've already had some people ask, but what kind of prices are we looking for rent, or, going to different ranges per se?
We're pretty much about the same as everybody else.
Yeah.
The biggest difference is we don't charge a membership here.
Exactly.
There's no membership offered or available. Just come in and pay for what you want to shoot.
Okay.
Cool, awesome. Kind of like a public golf course. All right. So let's see the future of the future plans of the park. That's we've talked about the different ranges, but do you see anything else in the future that might be coming down the pipe?
I mean, at some point we're going to want to probably expand and add some more ranges in it. Upcoming, we're building on the calendar for next year. We're going to have a lot of registered shoots, the ATA and AIM, which is clay target stuff on trap. That's the AIM program's getting really big nationwide for the kids too. It's growing about as fast as SCTP is.
Wow.
And we'll have several registered sporting clay shoots, and we've already been contacted by several nonprofits wanting to do some fundraiser shoots here, and we're talking to some other people. Hopefully maybe we'll get a Shooting for Hunger event up here as well.
Okay.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
So when folks hear all this, they're thinking expense, but Matt, I know you know a lot about, and Kenny, you do too, about the ins and outs of how this was paid for.
Yeah, of course, talked a little bit earlier about Pittman Robinson funds, the PR funds, and that's mainly money that comes back from the sale of ammunition, guns, those kinds of things that are used for hunting or shooting. That money comes through the federal government and comes back through us, and we're able to funnel that money into projects for this. So 75% of that money comes from PR. The other 25% will come from either money or in-kind. That's volunteer hours. That's donated land. Obviously, those kinds of things can be put towards that 75% of funding. So this project was right around $2.4 million, I think, and that seems like a lot of money. But man, when you start building things and putting things together, it goes really quick. So we're already looking for another phase, possibly a second phase. To help facilitate some of the things that weren't finished, and then also some of the projects that we've talked about, the archery, some more ranges, making the ranges safer, bigger, better, those kinds of things. And then maintenance. This thing does not, this.
Yeah, there's a lot of maintenance.
Yeah, dirt berms.
Just a mowing.
Yeah, mowing, dirt berms. They start to crumble, those kinds of things. So you've got to have, some kind of equipment to be able to work on that. So all those things come into play, and I know eventually when this thing starts running itself and the money's coming in, everything will be fine. But at first, it's hard to get it going. So we're here to help as much as we can. We're not experts in construction, but we can definitely help with management, and then also any kind of projects that we have or programs that we have, we can help with that.
One of the things that I've continually heard you all say is how family oriented you want this place to be. And I think about you and your kids shooting in the shooting sports together, and other families. There are places to stay in town. There are places to eat in town. You're right on the outskirts of town, literally 3 minutes.
You don't really even have to go to town to get to those places. There's right off the exit here, which is about 1.5 miles from us. There's motels, gas stations, restaurants, fast food, or go in, sit down in the restaurants. So pretty much whatever you want, so, 1.5 minutes, 2 minutes away.
You have a Facebook page, so if folks are interested, they can reach out through that Facebook page. There's contact information on it.
Yep, and we're having a website built, but it's under construction.
Everything.
But it'll get there.
Just like everything.
Yeah, just like
but
everything.
Facebook page is up, and they keep it updated real regularly. So, like when the rifle range opens, it'll be that'll be the first place it'll be put out.
Okay. Will there be rifles for rent as well?
Not at this time. We may in the future, but we don't have them right now.
Okay.
You mentioned safety and that sort of thing, and I think about a lot of ranges, you got to bring your guns encased and all that stuff. You have range safety officers. I guess all that's happening here as well.
Yeah, we do. We've got a range safety officers now. We've got one that's went through the trainer course, so he's fixing to do a class here for us and train several more. So we should have a range safety officer here at all times when we're open.
So they staff each position, or how's that work?
They kind of float around because you never know with just when you're open to the public, they may come in and be shooting trap, or they may want a sporting clays, or they may be at the pistol range. So if somebody would be floating around just checking on everybody.
Is it first come, first serve as far as when folks come out to visit the park?
Yeah. It is, but now we can serve a lot. It's like 5 different trap fields, and you can shoot 5 people at a time on it. So, or 2 sporting courses, and if somebody just started on one, we can start you on 8, and you won't catch each other.
Yeah, it is amazingly spread out, roomy, and beautiful. It's a gorgeous location.
Right.
I could see a church group or something coming out here and having a little outing and chance to shoot and hang out with your friends and that kind of stuff. I think it'd be a great.
And we've already been approached by some of those. They're wanting to do some fundraiser shoots for the church groups, and then we've had some church groups that do a security during services on the bigger churches, and they're wanting to come out and train their security crew and let them have a little time on the pistol range. So,
and then you got your team building exercises for these companies and businesses that might want to come out and just have an outing.
And then we talked a little bit about families. Eventually, I think there's some plans for some more family-oriented type stuff. So if you bring your little kids, they may not be shooting, or their attention span is really short. We may have. They've talked about even putting some type of something over here for them to play on, like a playground type area.
Oh, that's very nice.
And have a half a day with your family. Have family reunions out here. Have a picnic during the day. Go shoot. Come back. Hang out. We've even talked a little bit about doing some wildlife type stuff out here, not just shooting. So on the off days, we may have one of our biologists or managers come out here, put a food plot out, and we'll teach people about food plots or about habitat, those kinds of things. We've talked about at night. When you come out here at nighttime, it's pitch black. It's one of the darkest places on earth, and you look up and you can see every star that you can think of up there. So there's been talk about that. I know stargazing may not be for everyone, but it may be for some. So you might learn something out there, and also the creatures that come out at night, of course. So
those food plots could lead to wildlife watching and viewing. And
I just saw a turkey and a poult go across the road on the way here.
Just keep the shotgun up, right?
Just keep it up. I know what season it is, right?
Yeah, depends on the time of year.
No hunting.
It's a no hunting zone. You can prep for that season.
Exactly.
Yeah, so it sounds like that. So 8-member board, which you're the president of, and it sounds like you all meet regularly and talk about the guidance of the park itself.
Absolutely, yeah. Right now we're meeting weekly. I mean, that will stretch out once we get construction finished, hopefully to about once or maybe twice a month. But it's a great board. Work very well together. And as Matt said, this is family oriented, so it may not always be everything going on here about shooting. We've got a wedding reception scheduled out here, so I'm not sure if it's a shotgun wedding, but it is a shotgun reception.
Tell us a little bit about the facility. You mentioned the size.
Yeah, and basically the building's cut up into 3 portions. We've got a maintenance area where we keep maintenance equipment and targets and stuff in one end of the building. The office is on the opposite end, and then in the middle is just a large open room that the fire marshal says will seat 230 people.
Nice size.
And we've got tables and chairs that can accommodate as many or as little as you need, and it's available to rent on a as-needed basis. And then that's also where TWRA does a lot of their training classes at.
And a few classrooms?
We got one that's a classroom for now. We're looking at putting a portable petition in the big room in case we need more groups in it at one time.
Okay. Yeah, it's a beautiful facility.
Yeah. And the large room in there too is we've got a archery curtain that we're going to put in there so some of the youth groups here locally can shoot archery indoors when it's cold or raining or something.
Very nice.
Wow.
Yep.
That's great.
I
Yeah.
know.
I could see a future, maybe some public meetings out here.
Yes,
We've
for
been having
sure.
those. That'd be a great location for those.
It really would be.
So.
Yeah, we've already talked about doing some of our hunter education banquets here, or some of our trainings that we have for new hunter education instructors. So it's a great facility to do that. And of course, like we've got lodging right down the road, place to eat. Even though Kenneth said he'd cook for us, I think he said.
Yeah.
So he's a cook, huh?
Wow.
I know, right?
Man, jack of all trades.
Not kidding.
That's great. So, well, I appreciate you guys jumping in here and learning about this facility. I've heard a lot about it. It's been, as it's growing and being constructed, and it's great to see it finally up and running, and the future looks bright.
It does. So the Facebook page, Crossville Shooting Sports Center.
Shooting Sports
Park, that's right. I keep saying
Crossville
that. Shooting Sports Park.
Yes.
On Facebook, and then
Yes.
eventually you will have a website, but that's the
Yes.
number one way folks can find you right
Yeah,
now.
and the website address will be www.crossvilleshootingsportspark.com.
And then all contact information if folks are interested in finding out more about the park.
Yep, they can get it right there off the
Perfect.
Facebook page.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Awesome.
Thank you
Awesome.
both. That's
Thank
awesome.
y'all for coming out.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Appreciate you having us, and
Happy to do it.
and being on the show. Thanks for being on the show. So if you want to check it out, like they say, at Facebook, Crossville Shooting Sports Park on Facebook, and eventually the website will be up and running before too long. But thanks to Kenneth Carey and Matt Clarey for being with us, and Mimi,
Not a
thank you
problem.
for lining it
Thank
up.
you.
Yeah, my pleasure.
It's been fun. Come out here and visit this place, Albert
Albert Frye Road, right off
Frye
of
Road,
T-Vine.
exit 322. So
Exactly.
awesome. Alrighty, well, appreciate y'all tuning in. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. And don't forget, we're out there everywhere. TNWildlife.org is our website for all the latest information in Tennessee outdoor news. And we'll see you next time on Tennessee Wildcast.
Thanks for tuning in. Stay connected with TWRA by visiting our website at tnwildlife.org and follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Hey, it's all about Tennessee wildlife. It's what we do. Tennessee Wildcast will be on the air again next week. We'll see you then.